Children are gifts from the Lord, and as they're being celebrated all month long, let us pledge to always cherish and protect them. Hello there. Thanks for joining us on another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. I am your host, Audrey Williams. We're observing World Press Freedom Day, with the theme being A Press for the Planet, Journalism in the Face of Environmental Crisis. We have some educational features lined up just for you. Please stay with us.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, May 3, 2024. The $90 million Braco water supply system was commissioned into service yesterday, bringing water relief to about 400 residents of the Trelawney community. Work on the water system started in August 2023 and was completed in February of this year. The area, which was predominantly for farming, grew into a residential one, but there was no potable water. That all changed with yesterday's pipe commissioning ceremony.
We normally have to buy portable water or catch portable water. We've always had the irrigation water, which is straight from the river, which is untreated. And to see this change, treated water in pipelines is something that is good.
Portfolio Minister Senator Matthew Samuda says this is a drop in the bucket of approximately $5 billion worth of water infrastructure investments being pursued by the National Water Commission.
We expect to unleash investments in the water sector that have only been spoken about for 30 years. Whether it is in potable water and sanitation or irrigation, I guarantee you that you will have close to $400 million of works underway in the next 18 months in the water sector across those three categories.
Yesterday also marked the grand opening of the NWC's Trelawney corporate office in Falmouth. The new office will be serving over 800 customers.
A lot of Jamaicans still want to be able to interact face to face, and the National Water Commission is committed to meeting you where you are. The government of Jamaica is committed to making sure all Jamaicans have access to the services they want in the most convenient way for them.
With the NWC's presence here, we can expect improved efficiency, enhanced support, and a stronger commitment to meeting our water needs.
The Water Minister says several other projects are to come on stream for Trelawney this year, with others getting needed funds for completion. They include the Bonkers Hill to Wakefield project, where $95 million will be invested to improve the water supply for residents in that area. $1 million is being allocated to address water issues faced by residents of the Carnegie community. $290 million will be spent to complete the Belfield well rehabilitation, and $7 million is to wrap up works on the Georgia Tank rehabilitation project. Residents of Golden Valley in St. Andrew now have access to free internet connectivity following the recent installation of Wi-Fi service in the area. The utility is being provided under the Universal Service Fund's Community Wi-Fi Initiative, which aims to bridge the digital divide in Jamaica. Over 300 communities have benefited so far. During Friday's launch in Golden Valley, Member of Parliament for the area, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, said the internet access could open doors to education and economic opportunities for the residents.
Community Wi-Fi is more than just a technological advancement. It's a catalyst to community development. This will enable us to create digital hubs where ideas are born. Business can thrive and so forth. Students can also pursue their dreams.
Ground has been broken for the tuition-free Crystal House Jamaica High School in Twickenham Park St. Catherine. It is being built by the international non-government organization of the same name as an extension to the kindergarten school that opened at the site in 2020. The new two-story secondary school block is being constructed at a cost of $508 million to accommodate grades 7 to 13. Minister of Education and Youth, Favour Williams, has endorsed the endeavour. She says the partnership between the government and Crystal House that was forged through a Memorandum of Understanding in 2019 is a prime example of what can be achieved when public and private entities come together with a shared vision and purpose.
Let me say Crystal House Jamaica is more than just a school. It is a symbol of optimism, a sanctuary of learning, and a catalyst for positive change in our community. By providing comprehensive support, including education, nutrition, healthcare, and mentorship.
The high school block is expected to be completed in April 2025 and will host 420 pupils.
Your decision to invest in Jamaica speaks volumes about your belief in our nation's potential and your dedication to making a meaningful difference in the life of our people.
And finally, Jamaica is now 8 places up on the World Press Freedom Index. The island now ranks 24th among 180 countries that most respect press freedom, up from number 32 last year. The country has received a score of 77.3 for 2024 compared to 75.89 in 2023. The World Press Freedom Index is published annually by Reporters Without Borders, RSF, a non-governmental global media watchdog group based in Paris, France. Minister with responsibility for information Robert Morgan reacted to the news, saying the government welcomes the significant improvement and continues to encourage freedom of the press.
With an improved score, we are now the #1 ranked country in the Caribbean. And I think for an international organization to look at Jamaica, which just has about 2.8 million people and has a better ranking and a better score than several first world countries, and also is, in terms of the Caribbean, the most country considered to be most respectful of media freedom. I think that's something that we should all as Jamaicans celebrate.
The minister is in Guyana for UNESCO World Press Freedom Day observances. While there, he will participate in the ceremonial signing of a Memorandum of Understanding to deepen the bonds of friendship and collaboration between Jamaica and Guyana through knowledge sharing. Today is being observed as World Press Freedom Day under the theme, A Press for the Planet, Journalism in the Face of the Environmental Crisis. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Why do the government, business people, and economists celebrate when inflation goes down? High or low? What does it mean to you? Do you know? Let's learn more about it in this next feature.
Hello, I'm Melanie. Thanks for joining me in this, my first presentation as a host on Inflation Watch. This is where Bank of Jamaica highlights the factors influencing price movements in Jamaica. At February 2024, headline or annual inflation, which is the general rate of increase in the prices of goods and services as measured over a 12-month period by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, was 6.2%. This was above BOJ's inflation target range of 4 to 6%. Inflation at February 2024 continued to be primarily driven by the first of a two-part increase in public passenger vehicles fares. The outturn also reflected higher prices for some agricultural produce, such as Irish potatoes, yams, tomatoes, cabbage and carrots, as well as more expensive meals at restaurants relative to the same period last year. Inflation at February was, however, lower than the peak of 11.8% recorded in April 2022 and the 7.8% a year earlier at February 2023. The lower inflation at February 2024 compared with the same period last year and with the peak in 2022 was supported by BOJ's tight monetary policy. That policy includes 1. Reducing Jamaican dollar liquidity in the financial system, 2. Holding steady at 7% the policy interest rate, that's the interest rate paid by BOJ and the current accounts that deposit-taking institutions have at the central bank, and 3. Maintaining a relatively stable foreign exchange rate, which continued to reduce the impact of imported inflation. A fall in the cost of some imported commodities like grains also helped to reduce inflation. Now that you're up to date on the factors that influenced the inflation rate at February 2024, let's check in with my co-host BJ. He will continue to discuss the Consumer Price Index as he shares some more useful general information about inflation.
Marcia, how you do?
Me good. Running to pay some bills. But I want to ask you about something you raised the last time. How they measure inflation?
Good question. For that, we'll look at the CPI.
CPI?
Yes, Consumer Price Index. Kind of like the basket of goods and services we buy.
Like food and bills? Or when we go hairdresser?
Exactly. Basically, what you spend on each month. One person basket might include school fees and bus fare. Another person basket might have in light bill and vehicle maintenance. Every month, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, keep track of the cost of transport, health services, education, clothes, alcohol, everything. They look at over 10,000 prices every month to put together the CPI. From that, they can measure price changes over a month, 3 months, that's quarterly, or over a year. The change over 12 months is the annual or headline inflation rate. A big part of Bank of Jamaica's job is to keep that inflation rate between 4 and 6%, so it don't hurt consumers and businesses.
Oh!
Another time I tell you how BOJ actually do that. But you better go on before they put late fee on your bill them.
True. Catch you later, BJ.
What good, Marcia. Listen, if you have questions, drop me a note at that email. If I don't know, I will find out for you. More about inflation next time. Later.
Wow, I learned so much from that conversation. Thanks to BJ and Marcia. And that's it for Inflation Watch this month. Join us again next time when Bank of Jamaica will bring you another episode of Inflation Watch, where we track inflation and explore the factors influencing price changes in Jamaica. So till then, I'm Melanie. Walk good.
Join us next month on Inflation Watch to see what the inflation number will be.
Respect for myself and others. Self-discipline means there's a right way to conflict resolution. Kindness and compassion say being nice is normal. Honesty and integrity are badges of honor. Yes, we choose values for life.
In an effort to overhaul the Program of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security has been conducting several town hall meetings to improve the social welfare intervention. Let's take a look at how the journey has been going.
We're on the path to transformation, our third town hall. And let me tell you, as we engage, the goal is for us to listen to you, to hear from you, to learn from you, and also to provide information to you. So there's an increase in PATH allocation, 28.8% this year, which means that we have more than $10 billion to allocate to our most important program. Through these town halls, we want you to be open and honest. We want you to tell us what you feel. Whether it sound good, whether it sound tough, we are here to listen. Because at the end of this conversation, we're going to take everything you've said and we're going to design a better path program. A path program that is more responsive, more effective, more efficient. Intergenerational cycle of poverty is broken. And that's the goal when we talk about creating an equitable society. We are creating a society where parents will be proud in saying, my children are better off than me. Now, as we transform PATH, there are a number of things that we're going to be doing. We will, of course, firstly, as we have done in phase 1, speak to our staff members, speak to our clients directly. In phase 2, which we are in now, we have these town halls and other engagements where we will be able to hear from you, you'll be able to hear from us. And after that, the goal is now to make sure that we can set up 2 technical working groups, which have been designed already, that will focus on taking all of the information, your recommendations, and looking on them from 1, a perspective of the technical design of PATH, and 2, looking on the rules of the program. We're looking to improve the structure of PATH. We're looking to improve the systems. We're looking to improve the efficiency, timeliness of the delivery of service.
Many children are born with disabilities of one type or another. In a quest to include and allow them equal access to opportunities, the Labour Ministry's Early Stimulation program is working with parents to ensure their children are on that path to better development. Here is a story of one such child.
Meet Alex Fraser. He's a 10-year-old student of Dunrobin Primary School in Kingston. He's just like most other boys his age. He loves to play football, hang out with his friends, and play computer games. The only major difference, he cannot walk like most other boys his age. Alex was born with spina bifida, a condition where a baby's neural tube fails to develop normally, causing damage to the spinal cord and bones of the spine. Alex's mother, Tamara Brown, has 3 other children, all of whom have no birth defects. But from Alex's birth, Tamara was determined that he would be given the same opportunities.
I want Alex to have a good education. No matter if anything happened to me tomorrow, I want him to have a good education. Can't complain, the children, the teachers love him a lot.
It's fun having Alex around, even though sometimes it's like he's not even there. He's so quiet, he's so obedient, and he gets along well with his peers.
Parenting a child with disabilities like Alex's takes extra special loving care.
I have to make sure, go to school, eat, because Alex is a very sick child. Alex has high blood pressure, he has a kidney problem, so he have to take antibiotic every day, he have to take mineral oil every day.
It means Tamara has to be at school with Alex for the entire school day on many occasions, as there are times when he doesn't have an assigned special needs assistant.
We're always here for Alex's mom and for Alex. She has been a strong parent though, doesn't complain a lot, but we have been there in support, maybe for lunch or any advice that she would need. So she has been a great parent. Alex's mother, she never gives up. She really wants the best for her child, and she should be commended for actually fighting to get the best in life for Alex. And we're happy he's a part of us.
I would like to work with computer when I grow up.
Antonika Gunter-Gale, Director of the Early Stimulation Program in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, works closely with parents of children like Alex, especially in the early stages.
Parents, guardians, caregivers of children with disabilities face a number of issues. Financial, is one of them. When you take, for instance, sometimes a child with special needs go beyond the years of using diapers, they have to take soft food. So that means, the blending, the buying of certain food items, So there are a number of challenges. Medication, you think about appointments. The child needs to go to the hearing, specialist. The child needs to go to the audiology. The child needs to go to various appointments. And it does take cash, to care on the part of the parent for persons who don't understand that this is a child with special needs and the child, act up in the public, screaming, shouting, hyperactive, a child with autism, very antisocial, not getting on like his peers. These things can really cause much stress to the parents of children with disabilities.
But you might ask, how can a regular parent afford all these expenses? And are there any existing support programs for parents of children with disabilities?
There are a number of support through the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, under which this program falls, the Early Stimulation Program. A mother, guardian, who really cannot find the wherewithal to care, you have support in terms of intervention. You have financial assistance in terms of a rehabilitation grant that is offered through the ministry for parents or guardians of children with special needs. You have the Jamaica Council for persons with disabilities that also offer support and financial assistance for, starting up your own business, advice, and, that sort of a thing. So there are a number of areas. We have the PAT program that assists with adaptive aids, such as hearing aids, walkers, wheelchairs, medication.
For parents who, like Tamara Brown, are unable to maintain regular jobs as a result of having to be with their disabled children at home or school, the Early Stimulation Program guides them to numerous entrepreneurship opportunities.
We have parents, for example, a simple thing as making soaps, different soaps, putting together, soaps that is tested and passed, approved through the Bureau of Standards, selling soaps. We have mothers doing phone cards. We have parents doing their little craft at home, rearing chickens at home, doing eggs, So there are a number of areas while taking care of the child at home, the parent could do.
For more information, you may contact the Early Stimulation Program at 95 Hanover Street, Kingston. Call them at 922-5585. Children with special needs need extra special parents.
All children deserve to be loved, cared for, and respected. There are some who do not even have a place to call home. You could be the person to change that narrative by creating a safe environment for them. Adoption should be an option, and here are a few steps you can follow.
Thank you for your interest in adoption in Jamaica. Please download the adoption guidelines below, which are intended to assist you with the completion of your application form. You are required to complete and enclose the following documents: application forms, child's medical forms, adult's medical forms, any other information relevant to your case, such as affidavits, birth certificates, death certificates, and court orders. That's the beginning of your adoption process. You're now on your way to becoming a child's legal guardian.
Adoption is a very special process. It's a very significant step that persons take in their lives, and it is very rewarding. And I would implore persons who are interested in adopting to go for it. And as I said before, go for it with an open mind. People misconceive adoption because the stigma that is attached to it, in that persons, I don't know if maybe it is a cultural thing, but persons don't willingly talk about adoption. It's mostly a secret, and you find that people go away with the wrong ideas, in that persons believe that maybe the process is too long, maybe they believe that we should not have such a rigorous process, but you have to understand it's a life commitment, and you want to ensure that a child being adopted is being placed in the best possible placement. Close adoptions are adoptions that are basically done in Jamaica now, in that no information is given to either the adopters about the biological parents, and the biological parents don't know about the adoptive parents. The process for adopting overseas is basically very similar to the process for Jamaica, whereby you are needed to fill out the form, get the necessary supporting documents, birth certs, marriage certs. However, overseas applicants need to ensure that they have home studies, because that is the way you're going to find out about the overseas person's background. So they would have to get the services of a home service provider, especially for those in the US, and that home service provider will give them a comprehensive information about their, including police checks and everything. So they need that. And then after that process, they will submit it to us, and it will go through the regular rigorous process of identifying the birth parents, doing the necessary interview, visiting the child, getting the child's opinion, and then all of that is summarized and placed in a report along with the case file to the adoption board for approval. Persons who are allowed to adopt children in Jamaica are single male, female, couples, persons over 25 years. If you are a relative, you have to be 18 years and over. The adoption board is a body established in the Act that has to give approval for all adoption applications before they can go to the court for finalization. The adoption board is the only agency that is authorized to approve adoption cases. So there's no other agency that has that authority.
Let adoption work for you. Visit the Child Protection and Family Services Agency website at childprotection.gov.jm, or visit the agency at 48 Duke Street or any of the parish's offices island-wide to learn how you can start the process.
This is where we close the chapter on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Be sure to join us tomorrow on this station for all the information you need to know. Until then, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for this and more offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Audrey Williams, reminding you that one of the most powerful forces on earth is the prayer of a child.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.